All right, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are at in this beautiful country. Let me know that you can see my screen and hear me talking. And good afternoon, Diana. I assume you are east of the Rockies. Hopefully, the weather is better there than it is here. We've got rain, 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 tons of rain. So, yeah, go ahead and log into your account if you like to. If you got a second screen and you can actually do this with me, it'd be awesome. And if you're not a client, get yourself over to listingstoleads.com, sign up for a free trial. And you know what? Give me 1 second. I got to turn my screen off for 1 second. Give me a second. I apologize. I'm going to be right back. I just got to bring something up. And just like I expected, it did what I didn't want it to do. I'm coming right back. Here I am. Boom. And there we go. All right. Joni, good to see you. Eric, Andrew, I never got the email the other day. I'm not sure what email, Andrew, you're referring to. We sent out a fair number of emails, but you definitely let support know if there's some email that you're expecting that you didn't get, and they'll try to take care of that. John, Lauren, awesome. Labossier. That I probably butchered that. I apologize if I did. All right, let's get to it. We got a lot of stuff. I just went ahead and I put this link into the chat. All right, and this is kind of like a jump page. And so today, what we're going to do is talk about how to market a listing, yours or borrowed. All right, so yours or borrowed. And there are a lot of great reasons why you want to be marketing listings every week, right? Whether it's a listing of the week, showing people that you're in the business, right? What do people expect from a real estate agent? Aside from education, which you can do with all of our PDF guides, they want to see you marketing listings because that really is one of the cheapest and easiest ways to get people to engage with you. And whether it's social media, Instagram stories, open houses, database, farm, what have you. And we're going to be talking about, the benefits of promoting your brand, right? Which is powerful. I've literally have had people tell me that our clients tell me that, they see people and the people tell them, like, I see you all over the place, right? I see you everywhere. And it's because of what they're doing with listings to leads. We're going to talk about generating buyer leads. We're going to generate seller leads, all right, with the marketing that we do. And it's going to help us win more listings because when homeowners see us marketing listings, those are like signposts in whether it's on social media or your database, what have you. But even if it's not your listing and they see you promoting a listing, then that benefit really goes to you because they look at you and they go, oh, Scott's promoting a new listing. Wow, he must be busy. He must be successful. Oh, Scott's promoting. Now, we're not going to talk about pending and just sold today, but that is why pending and just sold is so important because it really shows the success. And that's what homeowners and home sellers really want to see. All right. So take a look at this page right here. If you're watching the recording and you can't find it, either ask support or just get into the mastermind group. And the benefit of this jump page is if I click on any of these status images over here, it'll take me to the write-up where we got a lot of great stuff here. So whether it was coming soon, just listed, active, or open house, it'll take you to that particular page where there's more specific information about that status. Now, today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through marketing a listing. I'll be talking about the items that are for everybody. There's a few things that are for listing agents only. Don't worry about it. If you're borrowing a listing, you're still going to do great. On these pages that is not in the account this is why you want to make sure that you get this link, is examples of how to do an Instagram story with links and polls. So that, for example, you can be doing stuff like this on Instagram where I've got links to, in this case, the single property website. And it's so easy to do. I got a little training video. Here's another picture of my listing, the kitchen. And I've got 6 things to check before buying a home, going to a landing page for a PDF guide, excuse me. So there's so many things you can do with listings to leads. Here's a little video clip. Notice it's not the whole video, just a little video clip going right to the property website. And right on this page is a video. It literally takes 30 seconds to do this. Get the free ultimate guide to buying my home. All right. So many amazing, powerful ways. To get to these pages directly, you can always go to listings2leads.com/open house /just listed /coming soon and then /active. So if you want to go just directly to the page I'm looking at right now for your status, just do listings2leads.com. Just go to our website and then /the status. So coming soon, just listed, active, open house, and then also pending and just sold. We've even got expired, FSBO, new construction. We got some other URLs like that as well. Andrew, how do you get into the Mastermind group? Great question. I'm going to put that link right here, right now. Yeah, I want everybody in the Mastermind group. So here is the link. There's also a link inside of your account, which I'll show you a little bit later. It is under the marketing resources tab. So when I'm in listings to leads here, under marketing calendar, and this would be good for everybody because someone's going to ask me, are you recording this? We are recording this. And it will be available on our YouTube channel. It's typically on our blog. So listings2leads.com/blog. But if I go to the marketing calendar and then resources, here's our YouTube where we'll have the recording of this call. Instagram, highly recommend going to our Instagram and make sure that you follow us because I post a lot of stories in particular, but also reels. So I did a blog post yesterday, how yard signs generate buyer and seller leads. That'll be something we mentioned today. All right. One of our clients got a $2.5 million luxury listing on her first day implementing the expired training that we do 4 times a week. And you can click right here. You can join, get right to the training link. And then the next, what do we got here? How to market listings. That's what we're on right now. So make sure you check out our Instagram. And then lastly is our Facebook Mastermind group. So you can always just, again, click marketing calendar resources. And then you'll see all this great stuff and more. All right. Are we ready to start looking at how to market a listing, ours or borrowed? So when you log into your account, you're going to be on the dashboard. We're going to go to listings. If you need help adding a listing to your account, getting listings in, ask our support team. Normally, we like those listings coming in from a data feed. You can always grab a listing and then you can always ask our team to add it for you, or you can just add it manually in about 2 to 3 minutes. So typically we want to get them in automatically or using our grab active listing feature. So if I go add listing, there's grab. Here's the MLS. We got a few other really cool things right here as well. So your listing is in your account. One of the most important things that you can do that I see people not doing is keeping your statuses up to date. All right. Now, when a listing first comes in, it'll be as just listed typically. All right. Now you can add coming soon. Sometimes if they're in the MLS as coming soon, then they'll import that way. So we got coming soon, just listed. And then after 2 weeks, just listed will go to active. If you have an open house in the MLS, typically that will flow over automatically and all the tools will be converted to open house. And then usually, though not always, not every MLS will send us the pending update. Some just drop the listing. We don't know what happened. But if your MLS sends the pending update, we'll update it to pending. And then typically MLSs don't send the just sold information. If they do, we update it to just sold. If not, you can always just hit that drop down. Just hit that drop down, select the new status. And you want to make sure you're doing that because every status, when I change the status from active to pending to just sold, active to open house, it creates a new set of marketing tools with new call to actions so we can continue generating more leads. That is so, so, so important. And Rebecca, yes, you can. Great question. Let me just show everybody. I'm sure you're not the only one. Under add listing, manual, and then the status here, coming soon. So you got listing presentation. That'll create the 24 to 26 page gorgeous presentation like this one right here, where the homeowner's home is on the cover, their name and address is on the cover, their home is all throughout. There's QR codes, text codes, URLs for them to take a look at your marketing. It's amazing. So we got coming soon and all sorts of statuses, right? For sale by owner, expired, canceled, all right, active, just listed, obviously, sold, just sold, listing agent, just sold, selling agent. All right. Rebecca, definitely get with support then. I don't know why that would be. I wonder if maybe in your profile, there might be something there. So, but anyways, ask our support team for sure. If you don't know how to get to support, if you scroll down, support right there and just say, I don't have coming soon, please check for me. And you can just say, Scott told me to ask you. All right. Yeah, no, I'm kind of curious why you don't have. All right, but regardless, I am going to be marketing my open house. Now, everything we're going to go through, again, coming soon, just listed, active, or open house. The only difference between those four statuses is the status shown in all the marketing tools. So if you're listing that you're going to market with me is coming soon, then everything will just say a new home is coming soon, or we are having an open house, or just listed, or this property is for sale. So, but how we are going to do each of these actions are going to be the same. All right. And again, it'll just say a different status in what you're doing if you're not doing open house. Now, I've set the open house already. And if you got an open house this weekend, I'm telling you, get started now. Over here at open house, yours are borrowed. Borrowed is phenomenal as well. We do dedicated open house trainings every 2 weeks. So next week will be open house, where we go into a lot more for open houses, but date, time, I can add, boom. But regardless, click the green market listing button. When I land here, you're going to notice I can get back to that page where we've got all the really cool things here. All right. So again, that'll take us right there if we need it. I try to put everything where you need it as much as possible. We've got a checklist. A lot of people like this, and this will just help you stay on track. All right. So it's all the different items that you should be doing to market the listing at that status. It's great to print, right? And just, especially the beginning, and just check off as you're doing things. But we are going to do a Facebook and Instagram lead ad to start. Just checked in the last 7 days, the average cost per lead was $3 for active, and then $4.10 for just listed, open house, and coming soon. So super, super great. And here's the thing, you get 6 data points: name, email, phone number. All right. And then you get, what is your time frame to buy? Do you have a home to sell? Would you like a free copy of my ultimate guide to buying a home? And if they say yes to that question, they're going to get it automatically. And so it's going to, we bring Facebook into listings to leads, and you can customize everything. There's no easier platform or better platform for Facebook ads than listings to leads. So we got location will autofill, special housing ad category, right? The 15 miles. We're going to do a lifetime budget of 35. Now, you really want to do $10 a day minimum. So I'm going to say 70. I can change lifetime to daily if I want, but I like lifetime better because it averages out it evens out the cost per day based on number of people on Facebook. So if there's fewer people, then that day, less of your budget will be spent. If there's a lot of people on, then it'll spend a little bit more money. So I like lifetime because it helps keep pace with the traffic on Facebook better. But different coaches, trainers, people have different thoughts. So you can do whatever you want. I can change the text. So if I want to go to Chat GPT or whatever, I can edit that text however I want. I can edit the image, change the image, use a video. All right. Change the color. All right. We have a lot of different templates in here. My favorite is the one with the image on the top for the ad, but a lot of people do all sorts of things. If I wanted to change anything in this template, I would change or the color or text. Click where it says edit. And now every element is editable. So I can change. If you don't have the best 4 images in here, you're going to want to make sure. Oh, I hate when that happens. Give me a second here. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Sometimes my screen blows up and it gets so annoying. I apologize for that. Let me just come back to where I was. So we were looking at change template. All right. So, and again, I was mentioning we have all these templates down here. And I was mentioning I just like the template right here. And then I also mentioned that if I want to edit anything in the template, I just click the little edit icon in the top left. And now I can change any of these images, the coloring, the text. I can save it if I like what I've got. And if you don't change it, you'll be fine. And I can even put a video here. So I could upload a video. I could upload a Canva image, upload an image from somewhere else, whatever I want to do. So tons of options. Under advanced options, there's a lot of things there that you can do as well that you don't need to. Again, the biggest thing really is just bump the budget up a little bit. 35 is just the bare minimum. And then click create ad. That's going to send it to Meta for review. Should be live anywhere from 15 minutes to, an hour or two, depending on what's going on. Typically it's pretty quick, 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes even quicker. And I'll show you another ad, and then I'm going to go through this again because the questions that are in the ads are completely customizable. So check this out. So I'm going to click the blue show ad button. You can always look at your ads online. You can always share that link with a seller. Oh, wow. Reverend Jesse Jackson died. I did not know that. All right. So here is the ad. People click and check this out. What is your time frame to buy? Like I mentioned, would you like my free ultimate guide to buying a home? That'll send your branded guide from listings to leads automatically. So if they say yes to that, we will send it to them automatically and then let you know. And then do you have a home to sell? Yes. Hit continue, name, email, and phone number. So you're not just getting name, email, and phone number with listings to leads. You are getting the responses to those other 3 questions. And here's the best part for some of you. Those 3 questions are completely editable. So check this out. I'm going to show this just briefly. You can ask me in the Mastermind group for more information later. But as I'm doing the ad, right? So location, budget, right? $70. You got my template. All right. If I go to advanced options, create new form, and then right here, form questions. And for any seller ad, we got a different 20 questions that you can select from. And so as I scroll down here, what is your time frame to buy is on? There's a lot of great questions here, really. Would you like my free ultimate guide to buying? Maybe I change that one to, would you like a list of price reduced homes for sale? That would be phenomenal because then I can follow up with them to find out a little bit more information about the list that they would like a price reduced, like what area, right? The size of the home. If they don't respond, I just set them up in my IDX. If if the home maybe qualifies for 0 down or down payment assistance, I could ask that. Would you like to be notified when similar listings hit the market? That's a great one. There's a lot of great questions in here. All right. And do you have a home to sell? And if they say, I see probably 20 to 30% of people saying yes to, do you have a home to sell? Right. It's really, really powerful. You don't want more than 3 questions. So we got name, email, and phone number. That's default. And then we got 3 more. So you don't want to be doing 4 or 5. That's too many. 3 is probably about perfect. You can do 2 if you want to, but why not just do 3? All right. Everybody get that idea? Everybody see how powerful that is? Because now when you get these leads, you're going to know what's their time frame to buy. All right. Now, a lot of people are going to put just thinking. All that means is they don't know the process. They're probably a first time home buyer. Would you like my ultimate guide to buying a home? All right. And if they say yes, when you follow up, just mentioned, hey, I just want to make sure that you got the guide, my ultimate guide to buying a home, see if you've got any questions on that. And then if they say yes to, do you have a home to sell? You can include that in your follow up. All right. Are we good on that? And then, as I mentioned, in fact, one more question that's in there. Again, click advanced options, create new form. Let me show you one more here. Form questions. Because if you do any kind of new construction, there is one, and I always lose it. I don't know what's in my brain. I always lose it. It's in here, and it's for new construction. In fact, I think it's a little lower. Over here. Would you like me to send you current builder incentives or specials? Man, if you're doing new construction, that would be a phenomenal one to add, because everyone says yes to that. Like over 70% typically will say yes to that question. And now talk about amazing follow-up opportunity. All right. Are we good on that? Let me know. Give me a yes if you're good on the ads. Oh my God, why does this keep blowing up on me? Oh, sometimes my touchpad gets a little bit wonky. All right. So we just did the ad. Next up, social media post. This will just automatically post to your socials. You want to make sure it's going to go to Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Google. All right, let's do all 5 of them. The post, when people click it, in fact, let me show you here. And I can also edit the image here. For that one, I do like the sideways. And again, I can change the color, the text, whatever I want. And the post, just like the ad, right? I can schedule a post. I can post it right now. And I can swap. Do I want the listing landing page or the single property website or the virtual tour to be what's posted? And this is kind of what it looks like. So here's the post on my Facebook page. People click and they just go right to the single property website, just like the Facebook ad, right? So just like the Facebook ad, people will land on my single property website. I got property video, 3D tour, professional photos, area videos, maps and locals. All right, a couple of lead forms. When do you plan to buy? Our 100-point home marketing plan. So if they're a homeowner, I have a client review video. I've got what is your home worth? So a lot of times homeowners are looking at your listings online. And so we want to be able to engage them. Buyers and sellers can download different PDF guides. And you can select actually which guides you want in here. So the single property website is absolutely amazing. I think it's one of the best in the industry. All right, I think our single property websites are just literally the best. All right. Is there a buyer presentation? Not yet. For like the listing? No, not yet. We have one in development. Not sure when that's going to happen because we have a lot of other things that we're doing right now as well. But yeah, we do have one that's been worked on. So I am excited to get that live at some point. I promise you. All right. Now the next 2 tools are for the seller or for the listing agents only. All right. Share on seller social media. And what this will do is this will send the seller an email where they can post it to their Facebook page and promote you. Talk about branding, talk about free leads. This is so powerful. All right. So we want to make sure we get these 2 tools. And the next one here is an e-flyer for them to share. Sellers absolutely love these. All right. They absolutely love them. I can edit this first if I want to. I can edit the email or the post if I want to first. But I recommend just using it as is 99 out of 100 times. All you have to do is click the green button. It may say add seller info if you haven't added it before. Just add their info, all right, their email address and salutation, and click send. And before I do that one, just so I can show you, just like everything else, they go to the property website automatically. And at the property website, there's a pop-up lead form and a lot of other great things. Here's the e-flyer. Again, there's that green button. Add their info and click send. And the e-flyer is gorgeous. It'll take the first 5 photos of the listing. And I'm going to mention a little bit later in case I forget. But one of the first things I always recommend people doing, and I'm trying to remember to show this in the webinars, I'll show it a little bit later, but just to mention, is that click edit photos. So when your listing is in your account, click edit, go to photos, and drag the first 5 photos, all right, to be the best. Maybe it's the front of the house, the kitchen, the living room, a backyard, and then maybe another feature, right, as appropriate. You want those first 5 photos to be the best 5 photos, because you don't want people to have to click all the way through just to see the backyard. Right? It's really annoying, especially if you got a lot of photos, right? For those of you that are doing these beautiful professional photos, it's almost more important for you to make sure the first 4 to 5 photos are the best 4 to 5 photos you've got in there, right? To tell a story, right? To show a nice quick overview, like an intro, right? Like the intro to a movie, the introduction to a book, the introduction to your listing, to show those first 4 to 5 photos that tell the story of that home. All right. Rebecca, I showed it a little earlier. I just clicked the open house icon. I'll show a little bit later, but when you're on the listings dashboard to the far right, there's a icon, like a little building or something. And if you mouse over it, it'll say open house. So get these to the seller. And then here's the deal. So those emails are going to go to the seller. You're going to be CC'd as the agent. So you're going to get your email copies and it'll let you know, hey, these emails were sent to your seller. The seller will get their version, which is pretty much the same, except without the language, letting you know. And call the seller up and you're going to say something like this. Hey, Rebecca, this is Scott. I want to let you know we're doing a lot of great marketing for your home. We have some ads up. We're doing some social media things. We'll be hitting our database and a lot of other great things here shortly. But I sent you a couple of things to share, one to share on your Facebook page and also one to share via email, because you likely know people who know people that would love to move to this area. And in this market, we don't want to leave any stones unturned. And by the way, if you belong to any Facebook neighborhood groups or Nextdoor, you can post it there as well. And your seller is going to think you're amazing. They're going to think you're a rock star. So make sure you get this to the seller. Yeah, if you want to. Although MK, there's not really a need to. I wouldn't. Yeah, there's just no need, right? If you got a co-listing agent, if you're doing it as a team, right, that's different. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, as far as adding their name to the to part. I mean, if you want to, you can, but you don't want them also sending it to the seller. You only want one of you to send it to the seller. Make sense? All right. Nearby homeowner letter. All right. This is for your farm. There's 3 tools for the farm. All right. 2. We got the letter, postcards, and door hangers that are amazing. And we have a circle prospecting script. All right. So the letter and the door hangers are my favorite. Now, the letter, if you go to success stories, which I'll mention in a little bit, but the letter, a lot of people will print them up and, mail them from home, right? They'll just, either handwrite the envelopes or they will door knock or they will send them out to a third-party printer to mail, what have you. So there's a lot of ways, right, of mailing these. It doesn't matter about the envelope. All right. Now, the biggest thing is either a handwritten font if you're going to have another third party do it for you, or you handwrite the envelopes yourself or have somebody else do it for you. But these letters, we have got clients that have been doing these letters for years and absolutely swear by them for getting listings. All right. A few months back, we had somebody came into the Mastermind group complaining that they got nothing from these letters. And when I asked him to post his letter in the group, he had edited this letter so much that it was unrecognizable. It just looked like a sheet of text. It was awful. And then somebody else came in and said, I get listings all the time. She actually used the word regularly. She goes, I get listings regularly from these letters. And you send out like 100 or so when it's either just listed or open house or the best. Coming soon would be amazing. If you haven't done it and it's active, do it now. All right. Do it right now. If you can door knock, that's the best. If you can't door knock, then mail it. All right. So, but you've also you got the letter. What is so powerful about this? Well, it's like an update. It's like an update to the neighbors, almost like an invite for them to just know, like you're doing a customer service for the neighbors and you're letting them know, hey, in this case, we're having an open house on Sunday from 1 to 4. Or if it was just listed, it would say, just want to let you know that 15 Ambient Way just listed or is coming soon or is for sale. You get more information. So we got the great URL, which is powerful. And then there's the text code right below that, where they can text and you get the phone number right away. Or they can scan the QR code and go to the property website. If they scan or text, they're going to get the property website, same as they go to the URL. And then we're letting them know that when the home is sold, it will affect their home value. Now, they can get their home value at the property website, like I showed you earlier, or they can go here and get it. So this letter, and it's got your branding on the bottom. So this letter is so powerful. I've seen people print it up at home. They just literally tripod the letter, and then they actually address the backside of the letter, right, with a couple little stickers, right, to hold it closed. And so there's no envelope at all. They just drop it in the mail. That's all. So it's amazing. It's easy. It's beautiful. It works. Best practices: send out like 1 to 200 while the listing is for sale. So again, coming soon, just listed, active, or open house. So at one, not all of them, just pick one of those statuses and send 1 to 200, and then do it again when it's pending or sold, right? So twice over the course of the listing is way better than sending anything else like 500 times. And same with postcards or door hangers. Now, I like door hangers a lot because I can actually still door knock, and if they're not there, just leave it on the door. And the door hanger and the postcard have similar call to actions, as does that letter. Very simple, very elegant, very sophisticated, right? Open house. We got the text code right there. We got the QR code right here. We got that great custom domain, 15ambientway.thebestlisting.com. I mean, there's nobody else that uses domains as marketing like what Listings to Leads does. So especially when you're in a listing presentation or talking to expireds or even FSBOs, and they see a domain like this with their home, they absolutely love it. It's one of those things in the listing presentation. Make sure you're mentioning that. And then the back of the postcard, when this home is sold, it will affect your home's value, and they can go here to get their home value. All right. And they can also send a text, which is really powerful. Oh my God. If they send a text, what happens is that we'll engage in a conversation. So they send the text, you get the phone number right away. All right. You get the phone number right away. Then it's going to ask them for the property address. And then it will ask them automatically for if they want it via email or snail mail. And then if they say email, it'll ask them for their email address. This is so powerful. Oh my gosh. These postcards and the door hangers have the same information as a postcard, except it's just one-sided. That's all. And then we got circle prospecting. There's nothing, except for going after expireds, right, for the phone calls. There's nothing more powerful than circle prospecting. So if you got Red X, My Plus Leads, Vulcan 7, right, which I think one of those types of programs are really an investment in your business. next to listings to leads. One of those types of programs, I think, is another, next to a CRM, but that's one of the things I would definitely be doing. All right. So imagine you say you got Follow Up Boss, you got listings to leads, and you got My Plus Leads. Those three programs is all you need. All right. That's all you need, because now I can circle prospect that open house I'm holding open for another agent. I can circle prospect my listing. Especially when it goes just sold. So again, with the circle prospecting, same with the letter, you want to circle prospect the same 1 to 200 homes twice over the course of the listing. Once while it's for sale, open house is phenomenal. Just listed is great. If you haven't done it, active is fine, or coming soon is phenomenal. And then you're going to want to do it again, right? And if you're really on top of it, you do it both pending and just sold, because those are two statuses both that homeowners really want to know about. Right? Even if I'm leaving a voicemail for the pending and a voicemail for the just sold, there's so much power to that. So getting comfortable and, treat these calls as a customer service call. You're not bothering them. All right. You're not bothering them. And if you are, all right, so be it. Right. It's not my job to get bent out of shape because somebody, says something a little bit rude to me. It's my job, all right, to put myself out there. And that's really the goal of all of this is we want to be where you are, where our clients are, where our future clients are, where and when, and we don't know where they're at or when they're going to be ready. So we just want to be in the right places continuously and, using either the letter, postcard, or door hanger in conjunction with that circle prospecting script will help you get more listings. Guarantee it. All right. Absolutely guarantee it. Any questions on the farm? The best way I see of using this, if you don't have a listing, is to do an open house. And then before the open house, like maybe a day or two before the open house, I would go door knock and to invite the neighbors to the open house. Even better, right? Open houses are so great. And you'll see in our open house training, we talk about doing a neighbors only preview, right? As an option, because that gives me more of a reason to call you as a neighbor, is to invite you to the neighbors only preview. All right, let's talk about the database. If there's nothing for the farm area. So for the database, we've got a dedicated email and another call script, because our database is really one of the most important things that we've got. And, we don't want to be strangers. Now, we want to send the email first. Look at this email. The first 5 photos are going to rotate. It's going to link people right to the property website. So again, if you got property videos, 3D tours, professional photos, get them into listings to leads. Let our support team know if you need help with that. If you do area videos, you got client review videos, right? Any other kind of content or media you want to add, you can do that as well. But I want to get this e-flyer to my database. It lets people know that when the home is sold, nearby home values will change. And then we got a call script. So we're going to email everybody, and then we're going to call a few people up afterwards. And you can send this out through your CRM. I'm going to show you. You can edit it. You can send a test email. You can copy the code or just copy the email. I'll show you that in a minute. Or you can send to all the leads you got in listings to leads. Now, another thing I did not mention, which I should have mentioned previously, is you can set it up so that all your leads go to your CRM. So if you got Follow Up Boss, Bold Trail, Lofty, the leads and listings to leads can go to those programs automatically. Towards the end of the webinar, I'll show you that, where you can do that at. How would you have client testimony videos? MK Hangout towards the end, and I'll show you that a little bit later. That's a great thing to do. And you can do it where you add it so that any new listing that comes in, it's automatically added to it. It's really cool. All right, now to send this through my own CRM, 2 options. Option 1, click copy code with signature, copy for Follow Up Boss. Now I can do that. navigate to your CRM, right, where you send out an email, like I've got right here already set up. Now I'm going to show you the easier way next, but this is the more kind of technical way. You just click the HTML code or source code button in your editor here. So I click that, paste, click it again. And now I've got that email in Bold Trail and Lofty and KV Core, or I guess not KV Core anymore, but the Follow Up Boss, right? Your signature is at the bottom. That's going to link automatically, just like it did before. This will link automatically, just like before. The other thing you can do, which is a little bit easier, is just click in the email, select all, like Command A, Control A, copy, Command C, Control C, whatever, and then just paste it in. Right. So either way, but you want to get this to your database. Why? Because first of all, it lets people know that you're in business. It lets people know, hey, Rebecca is, marketing a just sold listing. She must be, doing pretty well, even if it's not your listing. Or, Jonathan's having an open house, right? Whatever it is, it puts your name, in front of them. And I don't like bearing these in a newsletter, because then there's all of these things, right? What is one of the key aspects of lead generation is keeping your message simple and very, very straightforward. And so with the e-flyers here, they got the beautiful slideshow for the listing because that's primary. But because we know a lot of people own homes that are in our database, we've got the second call to action about the home values. Now, if they don't own a home, they're not even going to be interested in that one. If they do, well, they are. So these e-flyers are specifically designed to better engage the people in your database. So get this to your database ASAP. And then the e-flyer, I want you to think about the e-flyer as a lead-in. All right. Now, some people are going to click the e-flyer. They're going to go to the property website. They're going to check it out. They've got you in their brain. Oh, wow. Rebecca, Jonathan, right? Great marketing, right? Good to see that the market must be doing okay because they're marketing listings. But at the end of the day, we know we need to have more conversations with people. All right. We need to have more conversations with people. That is why, right? You could circle prospect around the home, like I talked about earlier. But if you do it after you use the letter, the postcard, or the door hanger, and then you circle prospect, it's even better, because now when you call on the circle prospect, as you'll see in that script, it refers to the fact that I sent out a postcard or a letter or a door hanger. I just want to make sure you got that regarding the open house we're having, or the new listing that just came on, right? Whatever. So we do this together to both the farm and our database on purpose, so that now in the database call script, all right, right here, and again, whatever the status is, it will change a little bit, to reflect that status. But in this case, I'm calling, hey, Rebecca, Scott here at L2L Realty. And just want to let you know we're having an open house on Sunday over at 15 Ambient Way. And I sent an email. With a link to the property website with all the photos and details. Hey, I just wanted to make sure you got that. All right. It's going to be a great open house. We're expecting a lot of people there. You talk to them a little bit, or if you don't, you're leaving a voicemail. Then you can end it where if they own a home near the farm or in the farm, they own a home not in the area, or if they're a buyer lead. So take a look at all three versions. But if they own a home not in the farm area, right, you want to end it up with something along the lines of, hey, Rebecca, I know you're not thinking about selling anytime soon, but I do free CMAs for all of my clients and VIPs. And what that does, it just lets you know what your current home value is and some different trend analysis relating to it. And I do this for all of my clients and VIPs, and I would love to do one for you. Would Rebecca@gmail.com be the best email to send that to later this week when I get them done? You see how I just kind of easily flowed into that, right? I know you're not interested in selling, but I do these CMA reports from my VIPs and my clients. Just gives you a little perspective on your current home value, some different things happening in the market. Would Rebecca@gmail.com be the best email to send that to? Because you got their email, they're in your database. All right. So are we good on the database? So we've done social media. All right. Now we did the ads and the posts and the stuff for the seller. I showed you where the stuff was for Instagram stories and reels, right? And how to include links and polls, which I highly recommend. We do a lot of these content packs. So for example, I believe it's either tomorrow or Thursday, pending home sales is coming out. It's probably going to be atrocious. Regardless, we do emails, social media posts for that. And one of the great ones is the social media, the Instagram stories, where you can include a link to your 100 plus point home marketing plan. Because when the market is bad, it's more important to have a good marketing plan. When the market is good, you want to have a good property marketing plan. So the ability to promote the 100 plus point home marketing plan from listings to leads is absolutely critical. And these content packs that we do every couple of weeks based on what's happening in the market are just phenomenal. And you want to make sure that you know how to do that stuff. And it is so, so easy. All right. Short form video script. This is just where you're going to go in front of the house and talk, not overly complicated. All right. And again, this is being recorded and will be on our YouTube channel a little bit later and our blog. I'll point that out towards the end of the call. Blanca, that's awesome. Good luck with that. This would be a great video to watch for you then. So the short form video script, all right, over here on the right. Now, if you want to use a Teleprompter app, and if you already got one, well, then you know how to use it. If you don't have one, a couple of links, whether it's your Apple or Android, if you need, how to use the Teleprompter app if you're not sure. I got that right there. And I would get comfortable with that because in Listings to Leads, we have got a ton of short form video scripts. We've got them for all the PDF guides, which we recommend that you do a buyer guide and a seller guide every week. We got them for listings, which you should be doing at least one a week or more if you got more listings. We got them for some other things as well on the dashboard. If you scroll down on the dashboard, you're going to see there's more script for different days of the month or days of the year. Some kind of cool things related to local businesses. So, but yeah, record this. That's great for your Instagram reels, your TikToks. If you want to, go crazy, get into CapCut, right? It's phenomenal. Mess around with your text, or you can just do it straight, just a straight video, put it up on TikTok or Instagram. We want you, because people, you know what? None of us are Brad Pitt, right? We're not Brad Pitt, but people still want to get to know you, right? People want to see the real you. And the more we do this, the more comfortable we get with it, the better we're going to do. And this will really, really compound over time. So just take the script and just do it. You don't need to want to do it. You don't need to be comfortable doing it. Just do it. All right. And again, how to use a Teleprompter app, get in the Mastermind group if you got any questions. All right. We got the single property websites. They're standard and full screen. I like the full screen version. We got different templates you can select from. And we have holiday styles, which is not the holiday right now, so we'll forego that. You got the virtual tour. Virtual tours pan and zoom of the property website. Open house sign-in form, we cover that more on the open house. But listing flyers and sign writers. So I can go right here. Let me show you a post. So again, at listingstoleads.com/blog, the newest post is on the yard sign. I can't recommend this enough. This is literally one of the best ways to generate high quality seller leads and even high quality buyer leads, or is the yard sign if you do it right. And so this post right here will walk you through, all right, how to make sure, and I'm going to do it right now, but this is for later, and you know, just hopefully get you a little bit more excited, a little bit more confident, and a little bit more, you know, invested into making sure. Because in that post, you know, you saw, you want to make sure, for example, that you got these statuses, right? Just listed, active, coming soon, open house, pending. And if you can do just sold, do just sold. You want those yard signs dialed in, because you are leaking business if you don't. And one of the things you're going to see on that post is the listing flyers. Now, obviously, you can put these at the property. They're great for an open house. They got text codes, QR codes, seller lead generation. They're like little Facebook ads on paper. And so when we put these on the yard sign in particular, so that as people are walking by, they can grab one and take it home. Now I've got a branded listing flyer with a text code, right? Text 1006, QR code, and even the domain, right? All pointing to my property website where what? Where I've got a lot of great seller and buyer lead capture. So imagine the sellers walking the dog. They see just listed, then they see open house, and they go, oh, you know, let me grab one of those flyers. They take it home because they're thinking about selling. And now they see in your property website that they can get your 100-point home marketing plan. Talk about some of the best leads out there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You got to make sure that you're doing that. Here are the sign writers you can order from us, or you can have them made locally. What's great about the text codes is they stay in your account. So when I have a sign writer, I can move it from listing to listing to listing as appropriate. All right. Rebecca, yes, you can. Yeah, remind me towards the end, I'll point out where that is, or you can always get with our support team. But yeah, in your profile, you'll see where you can do it globally, or I believe you can do it at the listing level. So yeah, you can do it globally. You can, if you got like, you know, scottsellshomes.com, in my profile, I can do it where the entire system flips instead of our URLs to your URL. Now, I'll tell you though, I think for our property websites, those custom domains are better. I mean, you know, 123main.worldsbestlisting.com is way better than 123main all day long, right? But you can do whatever you want. We got the ability for you to do that. So for sure. All right. There's a few other things down here, including traffic report that can be set up to go out weekly. And we got a big upgrade coming to this soon. Well, I've said that for a little while, but we do have it in development. We're just getting through a few other things. The YouTube video. All right. So we create a YouTube video for you. Even if you do property videos, you still want to do this YouTube video here, because it will typically show up on page 1 of Google for a search of the property address. All right. So here are a couple of things here under edit, which I'll show you. So one, I got my CRM lead source and tags. So if I want to change my tags so that when it gets into my CRM, it can, you know, jump up into a follow-up plan automatically for my searching, right? I can do my tags. I've got buyer commission. If you're offering a buyer commission, I can select that. I can add to the property description or change it. Under edit, I can set my open house. Under edit, I can, as I mentioned before, I want to make sure the first 5 photos are the best. I can even write label and add subtitles and subtitles. I've got, videos and 3D tours. So I got a video right here. I can upload a video file, and I can put like a Matterport embed code right here. I've got under appearance, you know, if I want to change the colors or something. Seller information, if I want to add it here just one time, I can do that right there as well. Domains, if I want to change the, like for example, maybe I added the listing and it kind of came out 15 ambient W. I can, you know, you want to do it right away and change it, because once it starts getting out there, it'll break if I change it. So I want to do that right away. So I can change it like that. Or like I mentioned before, I can use my own custom domain. So I could use Scott Knows Real Estate, right? Like I've got right down here. But I'm going to leave it. I don't want to change that. So I'm just going to leave it as is. Under preferences, right? A lot of different things that you can mess with down here if I want to. And the last thing, sections. So actually, I'll get back to this in a minute. All right. So there's some things under edit you should know about. If you got area videos or what you're going to do is on the main listing dashboard, right? In the main listings page, go to more tools, or is it settings? It's settings. Go to settings, go to settings and sections, because you essentially want to add a section to your marketing, your property websites and virtual tours. Add section. If you've got if it's a YouTube, that's on YouTube, just drop the link in there. If you got embed code, you can drop embed code. You can upload a file, an image, right? Whatever. I can add text to send you to a, whatever. Obviously you're not going to type that. And then I could click the hyperlink and put in a link to link people. But here's where it gets really powerful. Assign. So I can assign it to these listings. So current listings in my account as appropriate. I could even do all. And check this out. This is the $1 million application. Do not include with unbranded. If it's video, you want do not autoplay. You don't want videos autoplaying. It drives people nuts. All right. But right here, associate this content with all new listings. So if it's a client review video, that'd be perfect. Associate this section by status. So maybe it's a video on how I get homes sold. And I want that with my just sold and pending listings. Or associate this section with all new listings in. So if it's an area video about Folsom, I would select Folsom, or I could do it by zip codes and click save. Does that make sense? This right here, it's in the listings dashboard under settings, and it's sections. And again, add section, client review video. I'm going to click the little YouTube icon in the editor, second row, kind of towards the right, drop in my link. And that would be something I would do with just all new listings. And I would do all current listings. So it's a client review video, hit save. If it was, all about Folsom, drop in the link to my Folsom area video, right? Hit insert, and that will populate the video right in there. And here I would just select all the listings in Folsom. And then I would say, I always want to select those top two typically. And then I would say for cities, Folsom. All right. Does that make sense? Blanca, do you get that? And if you ever got a video, you can always just go to the Mastermind group and say, hey, Scott, how would I add this client review video so it goes with all of my listings? Or, hey, I've got a video on down payment assistance options for first-time home buyers, right? How would I add that? And then, because then I would tell you, add section, first-time home buyers video, right? Either upload it, or if it's already on YouTube, just put the link to YouTube right there. And then I would, select all the listings that are for sale listings, and then associate by status. And I might say, do coming soon, just listed, active. But, I don't want to do pending and just sold for that one. And I want to do open house. I think here, open house will just fall under active. So yeah, that should be fine. And hit save. Yeah, Blanca, get with our support team for sure on that one. Yeah, like I said before, if you need help getting listings into your account, we want them to come in automatically. So definitely get with our support team. They can help with that. And let me show you, and real quickly here, before we go, I'm going to show you about the CRM integration because we want your leads where you want them. But go ahead and click that real quickly and come back to me. That's a post webinar survey. I would love to have you fill that out, because if I'm not giving you actionable things to do to grow your business, then, I need to make sure I do better. Okay. I want to make sure that you are coming out of this call, not just full of hope, but with actionable items that you can do to grow your business. So if you go to your profile, talking about your CRM integration right there. All right. If your CRM is not listed here, it will have what's called a lead forwarding email address. All right. I'm going to drop that right into the chat just so you can see it. And then you're going to drop it right here. It is not got at l2lrealty.com. It's not my MLS email. It's not my login email. It's a very weird, bizarre looking email. So ask your CRM support if you need to, where it is, and just drop it right here and click save. If your CRM is listed like Bold Trail, Lofty, Brivity, Real Geeks, Sierra, Boomtown, right? Click it and just add what it's asking and hit save. We've also got Zapier way down here. If you're using Go High Level, you want to use Lead Connector, right? Or you can use whatever you want. And lastly, we've got API Nation. So I don't think there's any CRM we can't get to, right? There's Follow Up Boss, Google Sheets, Lead Connector, Thanks.io, right? A lot of great things. I think Follow Up Boss is right there. Yeah, just put your Follow Up Boss email. Yep. Sign writers. Under every listing, and there's actually to get to the sign writers, go to listings and just find your listing. So if I go to market listing, it's kind of middle bottom sign writers down here. And you can either download and order it locally, or you can click here and order from Dirt Cheap Signs. All right. So what you want to do is you want to download it and then you'll upload it here into Dirt Cheap Signs. You don't need to use Red or whatever, right? And then I would just call them and just say, hey, I just want to make sure I'm getting the right thing. I want to work on that a little bit with them to make it a little bit more clear, because it's a little bit convoluted right now. But they're good quality. But you can always just download them and upload it, have them done locally. I like the ones without the QR codes. It's up to you what you want to do, but I just want to give them one option. A lot of people like QR codes, so we got, both. And then when the listing is sold, then I'll just transfer it to a different listing. All right. Any other questions? Anything else we should cover before I let you all go? So I would love it, would appreciate it, would really value your feedback on these webinars. I'm not just looking for you to tell me how great it was. I really want to, hear from you. What in particular, what did you like? Or in particular, what do you want to hear more about? The text feature. Oh, you know what? I didn't mention this. I'm such an idiot. The basic text, like text 2, no, it's just part of the, if you signed up since like last year, it just comes with the program. If you're an older client, it was an add-on. So it's like $10 a month. So if you don't see it in your account, that means you've probably been with us for a while, and it's like $10 a month to add it. And shoot, what did I want to show you? Oh, AI text follow-up. So check this out. In fact, you'll see it right here. I'm sorry. If you go to the main listings page, but you'll also see it after you do an ad, that green button. In fact, there's these two buttons. Take a look at them. Check this out. List expires, FSBOs, and settle leads faster than ever. One of our clients, and you saw it in the Mastermind group, she just put a $2.5 million luxury listing into her pipeline on day one of actually doing this. She ordered the presentation booklets from us. All right. In fact, we're just getting a bunch out today, like this right here. They're gorgeous. And she door knocked 5 doors and had a conversation. The woman, with her home was on the market, didn't get sold. She wants to sell her home this year. and she gave the agent her phone number for follow-up and said, "I love your plan." The agent walked through this with her, while she was there at the property, and the seller loved it. And so she $2.5 million home in her pipeline door knocking. Crazy. But the other one here is the AI text follow-up. I highly recommend this. You still want to do your follow-up as normal. So you want to call the same day. You should be time blocking at least an hour every day for follow-up. And part of that's going to be your new leads plus your other leads, plus your database is part of that, I think, as well. But the AI text is phenomenal because it's an extra like $50 a month for 50 conversations. If you need to up it, you can. And you hit next, and you'll just put in your credit card information. And then on the next slide, you're going to just select your AI agent name, like 15 to 20 names you can select from. And then buyer lead, seller leads, or both. That's it. It's super easy. Yeah, the books are branded to you completely on every page. Yeah. Here's the back of it. This one's for expired. We've got them for standard. We got them for FSBOs. Yes, the AI does qualification for valid, not email, but for phone for sure. Yeah. And one of the things I like about the AI text follow-up is when I generate a lead, so let's say it's a Facebook lead ad. I get the notification, right? The normal one. And then I'll get a second one and it will say the AI, AI text, whatever, however it phrases, like the AI text has initiated a conversation with the lead, right? Name and email, name and phone number. And 80 to 85% of the time, it's a good phone number. If it's not, it'll let you know one of two things. It couldn't because it was a landline. And it's funny, the inability to engage because it's a landline or it's just a bad phone number, it's almost equal, right? So half the time you get what is considered to be a bad phone number is actually a landline, which to me is almost like, halfway between a good phone number and a bad phone number. But regardless, yeah. So Michael, hopefully that answers your question there. The criteria is really just that they have requested more information from you. All right. So it may say, because it'll go through and it will try to get them. Do you want more information about this listing? Do you want more information about other listings? And then if they say no or they don't respond after a while, it'll start going through like a list of different things. And so, whenever it can get to the point where they say, for example, maybe it's, would you like a list of price reduced homes for sale? Would you like a list of homes with pools? Would you like a list PDF guide, 5 secrets of buying a home type of thing, right? So as soon as they say yes to one of those things, then they will qualify it at that point because now you got follow up. And what you want to do is, and it's really cool, just real quickly, every time the lead responds, you will get notified via email and it will update in in the lead record. So I'll get an email and it will say, oh, the lead, said this. And you may actually want to turn off the AI text before it even gets qualified because you may see like there's some questions and replies going back and forth. And you may just like, you know what, let me just step in. And so I'm going to click the email. It'll take me right to the property or the lead detail where I can turn off the AI text, just clicking a switch. And then I can call them up and I'd say, hey, this is Scott with XYZ Realty. You're talking to my AI agent, Alex, regarding the list of pool homes for sale. And I just wanted to call and find out yada, yada, yada. Does that make sense? All right. Any other questions? I am with Kelly Wheeler. Does his account have that? Does his account have what? Yeah, Michael, depending on, no, you can't, but depending on what the questions were and everything, it will try to find out when would you like them to call you, right? Depending on the question. So yeah, it'll try to ask that automatically, depending on the question types that they replied to. Yeah. Okay. Anything else I should mention? Make sure to join us on, we do calls every day. All right. Matthew, I don't know. I would assume he does, but yeah, just when you log in, you'll know, because when you log in, for example, if you click text IVR, if it wants you to sign up, then you don't. But if it does, but if you have it like, something similar to what I've got, then that means you got it. And plus you'll see it, in the marketing. So when I look at my nearby homeowner letter, or I look at a postcard, or I look at other things, if there's no text code on those, then I don't have it. So yeah, you can rewatch this. It'll be on our blog, but on our YouTube channel. So if you go to marketing calendar, resources, YouTube. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you will see, for example, that's what we're on right now. And I can also always go to playlist, and your view will be different because there's a lot less in your view. But there is a playlist called webinars. A lot of these are inactive now, so they're not even, you won't even see them, but old webinars, man, I can't even find it. Like I said, when you get here, because you're not the account holder, you'll see a lot fewer playlists. But yeah, there's a playlist called webinars somewhere in here. Current webinars. There we go. Current webinars. All of our current webinars. In fact, I'll boom, boom, boom. There you go. Okay, dump in the bulk trail and also have another campaign. Yeah. Oh yeah, super. Yeah, and if you got AI text in your current CRM, then don't worry about ours. Yeah, whichever. Okie doke. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us as always. Appreciate it. Take a few minutes if you don't mind. Click on that survey. And the last thing I'll mention is, don't forget your affiliate link. Every day somebody signs up and they mention they heard about us from somebody, but you've got an affiliate link and you should be using it if you're going to tell somebody about us. So I can copy that link and share it. We got marketing invites. So if you've got an email list, you want to put it on, share it via social media. Or if you're a trainer, like you're doing a lunch and learn, you might be a lender, you might be a coach, you might be a trainer. And we got that QR code on that goes to your affiliate link automatically. All right. Or like I said, just copy that link if you're going to tell somebody about us and say, hey, make sure you sign up because you'll get an extra week of the free trial versus just going to their website. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And MK, get into the mastermind group. We don't per se, but definitely get into the mastermind group because that's a great thing to talk about with everybody. Yeah, that would be a great conversation to have. My wife's a mortgage broker, and I know she's done home buyer webinars before. So those are always great topics because, yeah, I highly recommend doing those kind of things for sure. All right, everybody, get out of here, get to work, let our support team know. Let me know in the mastermind group, right, how we can help you. We'll talk to you soon.